3-2-1 CBC Dutch Touch with Terry Michler, and we're here at Ajax. What a facility. Talk about this facility. What are we looking at here today?
Just a little bit of heaven for a soccer guy. I mean, where else would you want to be, especially on a beautiful St. Patrick's Day Saturday? And we're in the main training field for the youth at the youth complex at the Komst, watching U17 Ajax versus U17 Den Haag. I've said this before in one of these interviews, but people from all over the world come to see what's going on here, and when you're here, you know why they come, because there's a reason. This is probably the most thought out, organized, developed idea of soccer that anybody would want to have, and Ajax has, and they make it very available, very open to people coming.
It's almost the type of thing you almost have to see it to believe it, because people in America really have never seen this type of facility. Do you think America will ever get there, or what needs to happen in terms of getting the facilities up to speed?
Well, what you said there to me translates into more of arrogance than anything else, okay? Because even when people come over here, and I've had people, my fair share of people come over here, they see it, they experience it, they're wowed by it, and then they go home and don't do nothing about it. People that could, see? So, granted, I mean, it takes a lot of money to come up with something of this nature, but you can resource money in different ways if there's enough interest in the product. I think the biggest problem is soccer in the U.S. is money-driven in the wrong way. It's money-driven for the people that are getting the money, not for the product that they're producing on the field. And over here, for the youth, this is all the youth complex. This is the professional team practices on a different field, completely removed from this. This whole complex here, as you walk around and get the pictures, it's the youth complex, and you got to start with that point right there. So they put all the value in getting the youth in the right frame of mind and developing them properly.
And as you look around the field, we see Amstel, we see Mercedes-Benz, we see a lot of corporate sponsorships, and certainly that's one of the reasons why they're able to do this. Just talk about the fact that the whole community comes out to support these facilities.
This is a world brand. When you talk about Ajax soccer, even without soccer people recognize that. People want to be associated with a world brand, and when they have what everybody is interested in terms of their developmental program, well, then that sets you even further apart. So sure, that's why people support it. They believe in it. It's been proven to work.
Another thing that's very interesting about this facility, you see people like Dennis Bergkamp walking around. You see the girls just met Frank de Boer. These are national heroes, but they're available, they're accessible, and they're actually coaching these kids. Talk about that.
Yeah, I mean, you just can't imagine, in the States, people of that caliber being that accessible to just ordinary people. And over here they are, and they're very unassuming. That's the other thing, they're very unassuming. We were over here last year on a trip and went up into the canteen, and Dennis Bergkamp was eating lunch, and we asked the waiter if there was a possibility to get a picture, and she went over and asked him, and his response was, yeah, just let me finish lunch first. I mean, give me a break. That's as good as it can get, right?
Sure. So in terms of seeing this facility, you saw Schalke 04, which is a German club. Talk about the two facilities, what we're going to see here at the stadium, as well as Schalke. I mean, how do they compare and contrast?
Well, you know what? Schalke's facility is quite good. It's quite good. And a lot of the German facilities are improving, and a lot of the German concept in soccer in the last 10 years has been by studying the Dutch. Okay. Now, as we drove through Germany yesterday, we saw some red clay fields too that the youth still play on, which is really traditional in Germany. But I think people realize that the product gets better if the environment that you're in is good. So Ajax makes sure that their environment is as good as it can be, and that gives them the best chance to produce the best product. And that all starts with the environment and the facility, the equipment, the coaching, the methodologies. All that goes together. They study everything in detail.
Now, the day one we had our first game. We kind of, tough to win that game, but the kids played hard. Talk about the first game and the experience the kids are having so far.
Well, the first game was the day we landed. In the first half we were in it. The first half, second half, I think our legs gave way from all the tiredness of the trip. But I asked the kids afterwards, what was the difference? And the two biggest differences that they recognized, and good for them, was speed of play and the physical nature of the game. The Dutch are into every play, just a half a count earlier, by getting the position set so that then they can use their body to nudge you off the ball at the right time, you know, put a little bump on you. Not fouls, nothing vicious, just enough to create an advantage for them. And their controlling of the ball, you know, every first touch was clean, and they had an idea what to do with every ball. And at the end, I mean, they missed some chances they could have scored on them too, but the run of play was good. And our kids did well. Our kids, for the first half, like I said, our kids were in. It was a 1-0 game on a great goal in the first half, and then the second half we wore down. So for a half we did well.
And Phil, you've been coming here for years. Every time you come, kind of have a little bit new experience. What's been impressive to you so far on this trip?
Yeah, my first trip over here was 1976, and today now we're 2012. So I've had about 11 or 12 trips in between. And what's most impressive to me is that every time I come over, something's improved. You know, they don't believe in the status quo. They don't stay the same. They're always looking to make it better, and it's the same thing in their player selection. They've got players in their teams now, but I'll tell you what, as these kids are playing, they're also looking for the kids that could be better than them. And that's what they do. They always try and get the best. And what it does, it motivates the players they have just to work hard to stay in the program. Otherwise, they're going to get passed over.
Again, that's CBC Dutch Touch. We are in Holland at the Ajax facility, and Coach, we'll catch up with you next time.
Okay, thanks, Rob.